here, but you've got to be millimetrically perfect in your positioning of the car.
I got damage, Oh! Yeah. Keep going for now,
I can't, it's broken! It's broken! Anti-stalled! It's off. Fuck! Shit.
Fuck's sake. Sorry guys. Oh, shit.
4 failed. Failed. 8. Mate, you did an excellent job.
Thank you again, guys. Thank you. I'm so glad for this team. Thank you.
In the Red Bull, trying to action and excitement all the way as they come down to the 65 mile an hour right-hander at the bottom of the course. And it's
We welcome you for the FER Bahrain Grand Prix. Here's a starting grid from yesterday. Jordi sets a fantastic lap, putting him on the front of the grid beside his teammate Sheepy. We then have in third place Jogsy, who put on a brilliant performance which also promoted him, as well as Gamer, who is the Red Bull reserve. We then have Squid Bubbles, team owner of Williams, and Ridley, splendid job from him in 6th place. We then have Frio, the returning Haas driver, in P7, and Nonox in P8. 1137 space after his move to AlphaTauri, doing splendid in 9th, as well as Mikhail in 10th. Technic, new driver on the grid in Williams on 11th, while as Mickey in Haas in 12th. We then have Kevin returning to Mercedes, starting in 13th, and Ed in 14th. And to finish off the grid, we have Zwinok in 15th. And any other driver who joined the race will be starting from the back of the grid. Gonna have the 5 red lights for the formation lap. The announcement just coming up there. We're gonna see the drivers just go out for a quick lap just to see if everything is performing to spec. Also, seeming as we're having pretty much nearly 20 cars driving today, and because my laptop's pretty slow, I just want to apologize for any frame drops we encounter throughout today's race. Here's Mickey Mouse NL2, doing pretty well in his brother's racing team. The Red Bull pit wall looking pretty hot. We also have Ridley, after moving to AlphaTauri from Alfa Romeo. You know, obviously a team change is what he needed after, you know, GP was prioritized most of season 5. And yeah, I'm just gonna move over to my pit wall real quick. Yeah, 2 seconds. Okay, here is Ed's. He didn't show up for any of the practice and qualifying sessions today, so I expect him to retire pretty early on in the race. I'm just gonna freeze myself because I keep flying out of my seat. Yeah. We also have Lanor and Sheepy. Sheepy, obviously, reigning champion, feels a bit odd after being beaten by his teammate on his debut. So he would be wanting to clutch that victory after a not so impressive qualifying. Obviously, a very interesting qualifying and very great qualifying we had. But obviously, second is never enough for Sheepy Man Cow, who is also being joined by Jogsy in the Racing Point, which I used to drive actually. Until I left because I wanted to broadcast the races for you guys to watch. Yeah, Jordi taking pole position on his debut. It's fantastic work from the driver Ferrari outfit for season 6. So yeah, I really believe that this is going to be a great race. We have almost 18 cars on the grid. The Gamer, who was the Red Bull reserve, has now left the game because his other Red Bull counterpart, Nonox, his other Red Bull counterpart, which I think is Puffy, I'm not too sure. The Red Bull lineup keeps changing because it's Red Bull. But like the main driver who's supposed to be driving for the day, he has come. Oh yeah, Lanor or Nonox. I think it's Lanor. Yeah, Lanor. So he's here. So hopefully we'll be able to see the Red Bull's really fighting for today. Jogsy, obviously on his debut as well, starting from P3, fantastic job. Squid as well, he used to drive for the Renault outfit, is now with Williams and has done a splendid P5. Their AlphaTauri is also doing fantastic near the front of the grid rather than at the back. So I think this is going to be a really good race, and I can't wait to see how it goes down here at Bahrain, under the spotlights, under the night sky, and under the stars. We have also kicked all fans out because of coronavirus, and we don't want our fans to be catching diseases, but we also want you to put on a great show. The lights are now going to go out. All pit crew are ready for the event. It is 5 red lights. And it's lights out, and away we go for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Jordy makes a splendid start. Sheepy's not even left the grid yet. I don't know what happened there. Please excuse the refresh rate. Like I said, my laptop is horrifying, so we're going to have pretty quick frame drops and pretty sudden lag spikes. Jordy seems to be leading the pack, but Jogsy is absolutely making a move on him. Kevin is shot into the lead. Did he pull a Johnny Herbert out of Bahrain? Because I'm pretty sure that just into turn 3, we're already having marshals talk about him cutting the corner on the run to turn 1. I'm just going to talk critical about this. In the meantime, we can see Jordy is following second to Kevin in the Grand Prix. I think Jogsy's doing a splendid job there. And yeah, but no, Jordy's doing fantastic. That's Kevin into the wall. Kevin is into the wall. He spun out. I don't know if his car is good to go, but he spun. So his jump start or potential track infringement has not paid off whatsoever. Jordy leads the Grand Prix. Sheepy down in a very tricky situation. I think P11? P11. No, not even P11. Oh my word. P14 for the reigning champion. I don't know what happened there. It appears to have been a horrifying start for Sheepy Mancao. But if you guys follow FER, you know that the main drivers usually make a huge comeback to the front of the grid, just like they do in real life. So I'm not going to be too worried about what's happening down here. Jet putting up a good fight in the Renault. The FER grid changes a lot. I swear he was driving for Racing Point. I don't know what happened there. But anyway, we have Ridley doing splendid. He's actually fighting with Jogsy for the position. 1137 space up in second. Where did that come from? I have no idea when he got there. Clearly having a fantastic fight. He's been at the back of the grid all season. Well, last season. And now he's up fighting for first place. That is fantastic jobs from 1137 space. But Jogsy and Ridley are not far behind. We now enter lap 3. I can't read the GUI. Lap 3 or something, I don't know. And Sheepy Mancao up into 12th, so he's made up 2 positions already. Jordy is pulling away from space. I have no idea what happened here, but he's soaring up into the lead. Yeah, he's doing quite well. But however, we have got strategy to come into this, and Ferrari have been talking about a potential strategic maneuver which may allow Sheepy to contend with Jordy again. I think 113. I think space just went into the wall there. That's definitely cost him a lot of time. But he's up back into the contending positions. Jogsy is also fighting with him. We now see the cars as they approach the start-finish straight. My audio seems to be a bit delayed. Actually, it's just a bit confusing. But here is Kevin, who is we're still looking into the incident. He's just caught another corner. This appears to be a bit of an interesting decision with Kevin. He seems to just randomly cut corners. There's definitely going to be a word with him after the race, because he keeps doing these for these FER events, and we're starting to get sick of it. Like, no offense to him, but I don't understand what part of don't cut the track on purpose. he doesn't get. But we enter lap 5, 6. I don't know. I can't read the graphics. The resolution of my window is so low I can't read what that number is. But lap 5 or 6, Sheepy back into the points. What else? What else are we getting? Ridley up into P3, or is that? I don't know. I think that's. I might be. I think that might be. Oh my god, my head hurts so much. But I think that's Sheepy up into. Oh, I think that the Racing Point has been tangled up there. I'm gonna try a higher graphic resolution just so I can actually see what's happening. Sheepy is contending with Frio for the position here, actually. So here we're having a nice hot battle here, and the game's frozen. We're entering lap 7 of the Bahrain Grand Prix. If you're tuning in just now, thanks for joining us. We're having a bit of freezing difficulties, but I just wanted to take the time right now to talk about Jordy, who is slowly getting caught up by Sheepy, who is now up to P5. His race so far has been going amazing. He's been leading since lap 1. As we approach like the pit window, which I am rumoring is somewhere around lap 13 to lap 24, because most people are prioritizing the one stop for some reason. But yeah, Jogsy is catching up to Jordy as we speak. I don't know if that's just pace or if Team Radio has told Jordy to slow down, because he is nearing a couple of CCs away from getting a drive-through penalty, so he could be refraining from the push just a wee bit too much as Sheepy catches up. Jogsy and Lanor and Ridley all fighting, and Sheepy actually, all in the mix together for this one P2 yellow sector somewhere in the map. Meanwhile, we got Raw, I think on his debut as well, and then we also have Nonox on his debut as well. Moving up from FFR, most of these guys are actually moving up from FFR, which is the feeder series to FER. So, the first race in FER, I hope they enjoy this, and hopefully look towards this season. It's 6 rounds, but due to the attendance, we are potentially thinking of increasing the calendar due to the much love we have for this series. There is Nonox pitting in right now. Wait, no, he's not pitting. He's serving a drive-through penalty. I think that's because he just passed the 12cc limit. And there is Jesse, who is my head marshal, and he's just bringing in our retired Mercedes. Not Mercedes, what do you call it? A thingy. Yeah, he's bringing in Squids Williams after he retires from an engine failure. We've had three failures so far. Squid, Zwolnok, and Pink, who is the team manager of Mercedes, who decided to drive for today and then retired immediately, which is not a surprise. Team managers usually don't tend to drive for more than about 3 laps, so I'm not surprised at all. We then have oh, I got so confused. I thought you just took a stop on the track, but no. Sheepy Man Cow now into second place. Man's a missile. He's already up into second place after falling back about 14 positions near the start on the starting lap. So, really splendid work. Yeah, we have to understand that although the cars maybe non-collide, it does lag you out like crazy when you go through someone. So you technically have to treat it like a normal car. So yeah, we should be looking towards an interesting fight actually as we enter lap. As Jordy now enters the second final straight. Here's an onboard, and yeah, I really damn, the audio delay is ridiculous. I have no idea why that's happening, but he powers through, entering lap 11 of the Grand Prix. Let's see where the positions are. I'm pretty sure Jordy's P1. Oh, Ridley's up into P2. I think Ridley just overtook Sheepy. I'm now spectating Mikhail, who is Being talked about in the steward's room. I'm pretty sure. I don't think. Yeah, because he's on Xbox, he cannot see our announcements, which he has been warned about, but he decides to brace anyway. So he needs to serve his drive-through penalty, as well as Kevin, who's now picked up another one. Interesting, but not surprise. I think Mikhail has to serve his drive-through penalty this lap. I think because he's got a final. He's on his final warning. Sorry for me. Yeah, he's on his final warning, and he has to pit in this lap as well. So we hope he does that soon. And yeah, that's Sheepy up into P2 as we enter lap 12. I don't know why I'm looking at Mikhail. Let's look at someone else. Oh, new message. TSP Kevin. He has 2 TSP, but none of them served. Usually these suggestions come to me, so I asked them none served because I need some more time to think. And meanwhile, Sheepy Man Cow. Nope. We'll give him a few more laps. I decide because I still need to see him do like something really, really bad. It's not like he's in point scoring positions. He's down to 12. So we'll give him some more time. Mercedes really not doing well. They've just not been up to performance for the past 4 seasons, actually. I just don't know what it is. They've had new drivers, new team owners, but it's something about that Silverado car that just does not allow them to compete. There's a abandoned McLaren just on the track. That's Mikhail, no, not Mikhail, Ed. I think Ed's out of the Grand Prix. We need to go check on him. Seems he left. Kevin has retired from the Grand Prix because, he likes to rage quit. So, almost not a surprise, we now have, we have quite a lot of retired cars, which is really not a surprise. But we're going to keep going, keep punching through these laps. I think this is a laps car. Oh no, it could actually be Frio contesting with Sheepy for P2, which is interesting. Here's Mikhail. Glad to see he saw the message. He's now serving his drive-through penalty. This can be told as he is not pitting in his stall. As he exits the pits, we then look at Ed, who still hasn't been cleared out of his car. That is a heavy impact. If only we had replays, and if only we had people recording their onboards, I'd be pretty proud, but that's a future for next time. And for that, we won't be using the graphics required for onboards that much because I've not actually got much onboard footage. But yeah, the marshals are now doing the best to clear him out. We look at Jordy, who, as you can see by the nameplate, Sheepy is not far from him now. Somehow, I just don't know what's happened. Just contacted IRFIL. He said there has been no team orders that have gone in place. So we are clearly just watching Sheepy fight with the power of sheep. As he approaches Jordy with a lightning pace. I think Jordy is clearly holding back on time because his CC infringements are increasing. But just to sum a few corners, you can see how Sheepy has gained on Jordy already, which is really, really shocking actually. But yeah, I think we are bound to see a fight between these two. Can't wait to see how it plays out. We've got a yellow flag for some reason, so I don't know what that's all about. But no, I think Jordy's in. Jordy's officially pitted in. That's Jordy's pitted in. He's going for the undercut. I want to see if this works out because clearly I think Jordy's just not had pace on the tires. And here's Jordy as he goes out the pits. He has now got to absolutely destroy the lap times if he wants to get in front of Sheepy. He was already in front of Sheepy, but if he wants to build up that gap again, he's gonna have to start destroying the time board. So hopefully he gets to doing that soon. Okay, and I'm really sorry for the really delayed audio. I don't know what's happening on my laptop. It's just a bit I just need to get a new system. It's horrifying. Like, I'm on Jordy's point of view right now, and there's no engine sound. And then all of a sudden it'll blare into my ears that there is. So I'm really sorry about that, guys. I'm looking to see if we can fix it for later seasons. We now enter lap 17. Lap 17 of the Grand Prix. And Jordy is pivoting, absolutely destroying the laps. Sheepy still hasn't pitted in. So I have a feeling he's currently faster on the stint, which is not surprising. I think Sheepy really has a good tire wear ability. He has like the ability to like use the tire wear to his advantage. He doesn't wear the tires as much as Jordy. No offense to him, I'm just stating the facts. The gap to Jordy is 20 seconds, so Jordy really needs to shorten the gap. We can see Ferrari pit crew coming out of their stalls right now, so I'm presuming Sheepy's going to pit in for this lap. Meanwhile, here's Nonox battling with Ridley for the point. I think that's Sheepy just coming around the final few corners. Here's Jordy. So Sheepy's in right now. He is coming out of the pits. I think that's Jordy, who is going to be. Let's see who gets out. They come. Oh my goodness! The undercut has not worked for Jordy as Sheepy pulls out of the pit lane, just literally meters in front of him, and has now somehow pulled up a huge gap. I don't need the words. You have just seen it in front of you. That was racing at its finest. Literally fine racing from these two guys right here. That was a hell of a cool strategy call from iRaphael. So fantastic work from him. But obviously Jordy will not be liking that. So he is now going to start pushing his absolute best to try and get in front of Sheepy. So yeah, Jordy's got the more wear-in tires, which means he, for a few laps, will have an advantage over Sheepy as Sheepy starts wearing down his. But then it will be Sheepy in the benefit. So Jordy wants to get that move done now. If not, never. So yeah, massive battle between these two Ferraris. I'm really enjoying the race. Leave a like and please subscribe to Formula Endurance Racing if you're liking this race as well, and please consider subscribing to Man of Percent, which is my main channel. I do a couple of F1 reviews and stuff like that there. I used to do the Roblox videos on here, but I figured it might deserve its own platform since the genre of videos on my channel are significantly different compared to the race highlights I make. So yeah, please consider subscribing to both channels and leaving a like on this video. We now approach a couple of back markers, considering Sheepy is now approaching Mickey Mouse NL2 and Mikhail. We're approaching a lot of back markers now, actually, where the Ferraris are getting held up like crazy. Jogsy leads the Grand Prix, and you can actually see him in the distance from Jordy's perspective. And yeah, you can clearly see that Jogsy hasn't pitted yet because there was no moment where he was leading before the two Ferraris had pitted. So yeah, there's a lot more drama going on right now, but my PC is destroying itself if I film anyone else apart from the two Ferraris and the people at the very back. The people in the middle are in a huge fight, but if I film them it's just gonna freeze and I'll lose quality footage. But I can assure you the same intensity of battle is happening at the back of the grid as well. It's not just the front that is absolutely having the time of their life. Sheepy overtakes Jogsy and pushes himself up into the lead. So Sheepy, I think Jordy just used the older rubber to his advantage. He still has to wear in his tires, so he can use the better grip. Going a bit off though, so I think I'm just counter-attacking myself. I don't know, okay? Give me a break. But obviously Jordy is another sector. Is another yellow flag, sector 2. Which is interesting. I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, that's nothing to worry about, folks. The Marshall team is a fantastic team here in the IRS community who can instantly get rid of any problem as quick as possible. So really not a problem for these guys. So thanks and props to them. And thanks to the people at the pit wall who are actually spending the time doing their work and making their drivers proud, giving them consistent information. Fantastic guy. Props to them as well, because it's quite hard sitting there with about an hour of just racing as you sit in your pit wall and just consistently tell your driver that whoever's behind them, what's not behind them, and their pit strategy. And I want to thank them for being there as well. It really makes the FER races just seem a bit more like the real thing in F1, and just that much more enjoyable. And I hope we have more consistent drivers. As you can see, we've had almost half the grid retire now. But yeah, and thanks to me for putting these highlights together, because my laptop is probably going to explode at some point, and I'm practically risking my life getting this footage. Let's look at someone else. Let's look at Ridley, who's been doing fantastic all course of this race. He's now up into P4 from his P9, I think. I don't know. I forgot the grid order, but he started way lower than P4, and he's potentially looking towards a P4 finish unless he can work some magic and just overtake Jogsy, who is also by far doing fantastic. Although he has to pit, so he could be looking towards a P3 finish, actually, Ridley, which is fantastic work for his second season here in FER. But yeah, the fight continues between the two prancing horses as they begin to enter the third sector of lap 23. And just as I say that, there is a sector 3 red flag. What am I saying? Yellow flag. Which is now instantly be cleared because the Marshall team is just that fast. I keep complimenting the Marshals and the pit crew rather than the actual drivers who are putting their lives out there and making us watch their good show that they decide to put on for us. It's fantastic work for them as well. I think, that is a daring move by Sheepy, and I think with that extra with the extra exit speed, he just takes the P1 from Jordy right out of the bat and is now back into the lead. Fantastic driving and fantastic work to Sheepy, but I'm pretty sure Jordy has not given up just yet. We're probably going to see a bit more of an overtake and a bit more of a fight from these two. We have just over 10 laps left to go in the Bahrain Grand Prix. Let's see if we can watch a bit more intense brawl from these two drivers. And I don't think I'm blind, but is that Mikhail pulling over? I wonder why. I wonder what's happening. And how did he get down to P12? I'm pretty sure I saw him in the pits at one point, but I'm not sure what that was for. I think he was probably just getting a car replacement, but I don't know what he was doing in the pits. I do remember seeing him there, but I think he's retiring from the race. Oh, that's a shame. That's a huge shame, because he was doing really well. Actually, Mikhail, he's a dedicated driver here at FER, and although he's on Xbox, he certainly puts up a fight with the other PC drivers. So it is a bit of a shame to be seeing him like this here. I wish I could, find out what happened, but he can't chat. So, it's a shame. I feel for Mikhail. Definitely feels a bit bad, but this kind of thing happens. You can see the two Ferraris actually just having another brawl. Jordy tries to go for the move there actually, but Sheepy takes the position back. These two are absolutely on fire. I don't know what's happening. The team down at Maranello. I'm sorry, I own the team and I have no idea where they're based. I feel like a disgrace. I'm just gonna head over to Mikhail. We have the two prancing horses once again going out for an all-out battle. Here's Sheepy, who's currently leading the race, but Jordy is not far behind him. I just don't know how Sheepy's doing this. It's really just a huge coincidence to me. Not a coincidence, what am I talking about? I'm just blabbering random words of the devil. Sheepy is doing an excellent job, and I'm really proud. But what I'm surprised is that Jordy's keeping hold of P2. Well, that's not a surprise. I'm trying to say Sheepy's not letting... commentator, commentator. I'm trying to say that Jordy is not letting go of Sheepy. He's still literally milliseconds behind him. And, oh dear. That's a Williams there. No, that's a... No, oh my goodness, I'm blind. That's a Renault there. On stranded. That's the Renault Jet. He's now back onto the grid, to the track. That was a bit of a surprise, really. Seeing Jet there just stranded on the track. I must have definitely put off Jordy, who's now pulled back even further. We are now on to lap 28, so we are nearing the end of this race. And honestly, I think it's been a fantastic race. It's really proved its worth. I've definitely enjoyed every bit of it. But we're not finished yet. Don't think we are finished yet, because there's still a fantastic show being put on. 1.37 space just pulls out in front of F1 fan. You know, the Williams at last. No offense to him, but the Williams is last, and I'm presuming that the Williams car is just cursed, like all the Mercedes cars in this game are. Because now Jogsy is now down into P5, and Jordy, who is now serving a drive-through penalty. Oh my goodness, I didn't see this happening. This could potentially give Ridley a chance to jump Jordy for the position. However, I think the gap's just a bit too high, a bit extreme for Ridley to be getting into that kind of territory. Yeah, Ridley's definitely too far away. So that's not that's a surprise, really. Dear. And Jogsy is now dropping down the order. There's a Haas stranded on the track. Jogsy down to P6. I think I feel bad for him. I think he's just not up to set with the new tires. There's the Williams again, and that's the Williams going wide. What's with the Williams? I'm so confused. Come on, F1 fan, you can do better than this. So yeah, I think it's clearly going very well for Sheepy. He's going to be absolutely crying in laughter as Jordy is now almost 20 seconds behind him. He can now just waltz the final 5 laps of this race. But Jordy has just been given the thumbs up to push in, because he's now got an extra 12 cc's. So he can now push the track limits to their extent, not on purpose, but as in like he can push the car to try and get a lap time faster than Sheepy, so without risk of another drive-through penalty. So he can come for it. He's been told to stay focused, but Sheepy he's just vibing. He just doesn't have to worry about Jordy anymore. He's in the lead. Mikhail is still in his car. I don't know what happened to Mikhail, honestly. That's going to be an interesting talk to have with the Pakistani driver. But honestly, the more drivers the merrier. It's not that I like seeing someone retire from a race. It's not my thing. But anyway, we're now looking at the Jogsy as he observes the 2 bulls battle it out for P8. Looking fantastic there. It's Lanor, no, it's Nonox V1137. I'm not sure if the 2 are lapped actually. Let me just check. Where is Nonox? Did Nonox retire? Oh no, Nonox is in P8. Nonox is a dedicated driver. Why would I think he retired? So I think Nonox has been bumped down the order. So that's a Toro Rosso of 1137 space, actually overtaking the Red Bull. But all cars are equal, which is why that's actually happening. Otherwise, Ferrari would be on another level. They would probably have finished the race by now. But everyone's in the same car, so that's not happening. So we now enter lap 32 of this race. And honestly, I think it's been a fantastic race. I think everyone across the grid is having some fantastic fights, some fantastic battles. Sheepy now enters another wave of back markers who need to be given the blue flag. I don't know why that's not happening though. I mean, then again, I removed the flag model because it was causing too much lag, so I'm not gonna complain about that. But yeah, they're doing fantastic. For two Ferraris, doing an excellent job. Also Frio, also Ridley, also Ladder, also 1137, also everyone in this lobby, they're doing absolutely fantastic. So props to them for staying this long. We enter lap 33. We only have a few laps left to go on this race. Let's see how it goes. We've had an interesting race this weekend, and we've obviously had the Ferraris go for it out, absolute battle. We've had the midfielders, we've had Ridley, we've had everyone go for a fantastic drive here today, but we have been focusing on the man himself, the man who started in P2 after being out-qualified by his teammate, and the man who then dropped down to P14 after the first lap, but then fought hard for the remainder of the race, not giving up like some other drivers in the grid today. No, he kept going, and after 35 laps of the Bahrain Grand Prix, it is safe to say, guys, that Sheepy Mankau is the winner of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Absolute legend. Fantastic work, Sheepy. That's the win for you, mate. 25 points. And with that is the fastest lap. So it's 26 points heading into Season 6. Jordy comes after him. He managed to get the gap down just a wee bit. Down to 13 seconds, but it wasn't enough. But fantastic race to Jordy as well. He did nothing wrong. He did absolutely nothing wrong. And it was an amazing debut race for Jordy. And then the man you least expected, just following a 9-second gap, is Ridley, who takes an amazing P3, his best career finish, I think, his best career finish in FER, which is fantastic work. That is amazing. An amazing start to his career with AlphaTauri. Is an amazing performance on these guys. Fantastic work. Fantastic work. I want to thank everyone who decided to tune into the stream today. I really appreciate the support and love that FER gets. And, you know, it's a devastating 40 minutes of me and cars and Ferrari. But I hope next race will be much more exciting for you guys, and I hope I can get more race footage. We're currently working on a couple of regulations that drivers will have to have, like maybe a couple of onboards. And yeah, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this highlights reel. Well, mainly pretty much the entire race, save a few boring periods. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, guys, and I'll see you down at Monza for what's the movie for round 2 of the FER Season 6 World Championship. We'll see you later. This is Mata Prasan, and I'm shooting out. Goodbye.